Dracula by Bram Stoker is a Gothic horror novel first published in 1897. It tells the story of Count Dracula's attempt to move from Transylvania to England, where he seeks to expand his influence by turning new victims into vampires. The novel is presented in epistolary form, using letters, diary entries, newspaper clippings, and a ship's log to convey the story from multiple perspectives. The novel begins with Jonathan Harker, a young English solicitor, who travels to Transylvania to help Count Dracula with the purchase of an estate in England. Upon arriving at Dracula's castle, Harker soon realizes that he is a prisoner and that Dracula is no ordinary man, but a centuries-old vampire. Dracula is a terrifying and supernatural being who possesses the ability to turn into a bat or wolf and has control over the weather, especially fog. During his imprisonment, Harker discovers that Dracula plans to travel to England, where he will spread his influence and terror. Back in England, Harker's fiancée, Mina is staying with her friend Lucy Westenra, who is engaged to Arthur Holmwood. Lucy begins to suffer from mysterious health problems, including severe blood loss and a general decline in her condition. Her fiancé Arthur, along with his friends Dr. John Seward and Professor Abraham van Helsing, becomes increasingly concerned. Van Helsing, a Dutch doctor, soon recognizes that Lucy is the victim of a vampire, and despite their best efforts to save her, Lucy succumbs to Dracula's bite and transforms into a vampire herself. The group is devastated by Lucy's death and her subsequent transformation. They vow to destroy Dracula, beginning a dangerous and relentless pursuit of the vampire lord. As Dracula's influence spreads, Mina is also targeted, and she begins to fall under his power. The group seeks to find a way to end Dracula's reign of terror by tracking him across Europe and back to Transylvania. Their journey is filled with peril and determination as they work to defeat the ancient vampire once and for all. The climactic final scenes occur in Transylvania, where Dracula returns to his castle. Jonathan Harker, along with Van Helsing and the rest of the group, confronts the vampire in a final, dramatic confrontation. In the end, they manage to destroy Dracula by stabbing him in the heart and severing his head. With Dracula's death, the curse is lifted, and Mina is freed from his influence. The novel concludes with Jonathan and Mina, now married with a son, reflecting on the horrors they endured and the peace they have found. Dracula explores themes of fear, sexuality, and the clash between modernity and superstition. Stoker uses the character of Dracula to represent the fear of the unknown and the darker aspects of human nature. The novel also delves into the fear of immigration and the anxieties of the late Victorian era, including the challenges posed by the rise of science and rational thought in a world that still held deep superstitions. Dracula himself is portrayed as both a seductive and terrifying figure, symbolizing the danger of unchecked desire and the loss of control. The novel also examines the power dynamics between men and women, particularly in terms of Mina's transformation and the way that the group of men acts to rescue her. Dracula is a pioneering work of horror literature, establishing many of the conventions that would define the genre for years to come. The character of Count Dracula has become one of the most iconic figures in horror, influencing countless adaptations in literature, film, and popular culture. Stoker's novel remains a timeless classic, blending elements of Gothic horror with the anxieties and cultural tensions of its time, and it continues to captivate readers with its dark, thrilling narrative.